Critical EDH, all the news that's fit to print. I'm here with Jason.
And
Jason?
Jason?
Jason.
From Critical EDH.
Him?
We're here with...
I'm Logan.
We're back on this week's Keeping Tabs for the 15th of July.
Today's the 15th. This is for the 16th.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Because that's how recording stuff in advance works.
It's just like magic of recording. Anyway, we've got another packed show for you guys. We've got a lot to talk about. And not least to say, this awesome Gold Saber creation. We were just educating Jason on what Hey Arnold is. And he looked very confused.
You know, honestly, it looks really cool, though.
He's a football head. You see his head? It looks like a football.
The other person looks like they got the Marge Simpson hair.
Yeah, but that's a dude. Dude, the Gengar ska is like kind of crazy.
That's so gas. I saw a screenshot of it and I sent it to Jay, and Jay was like, "Gas! It's ska, bro."
Yeah. There's a lot of really awesome references in this art, and it's just like, it's so busy. There's Gengar, Zapdos, there's Hey Arnold stuff, and blue and red mana, and I think there's
that's what I like about Gold Sabertooth's art is that no matter where you look on it, it's busy, right? There's always something on it.
Yeah, for sure. And then he also just did this Zerta mat, which is like, you can tell it's a Gold Saber original, right? But it's in a different style, clearly.
Dude, I just like all the fire coming off of it. That's the coolest part.
I wish this were on a card. I would actually... Oh, Olive is startled by something. Anyway, I wish this was like on a card, because...
that'd be cool, like a borderless art of the fox.
We need a Gold Sabertooth Secret Lair.
True. Make it happen, Watsy.
Come on, Wizards. You can do it. And then speaking of things in New York, one of these tabs, there's a big event going on in kind of Buffalo, New York area. Bufftown Bullies are hosting an event.
Yep.
This is like the last chance for points.
Yeah, if you guys want points, sign up for this event. Okay. If you need points for the Envy, this is what we talking about.
Yeah, it's gold right now, but it's a really good chance that it'll hit platinum. There's going to be a lot of top players there. I know some people in our league are going to be here.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool to see. And then the prizing is looking really good too. Judge promo, Survival of the Fittest, and entry to Steel City.
Dude, that entry into the 20K. Imagine just like going to this event, winning it, and then going to the 20K and then winning that.
Yeah.
Bam. How crazy of a story would that be?
Not only that, I mean, it's free entry. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Makes your trip cheaper, honestly.
Yeah. Makes it worthwhile. And then store credit for other placements, but overall, it looks like it'll be another solid Bufftown Bullies event. I kind of like the theme, the Survivor theme.
Yeah. Especially since the prize is Survival of the Fittest.
Oh, I didn't even make that connection. I'm so stupid. But yeah, it's also kind of like last man standing too, right? It's like last, whoever can get the points to make it to the Envy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, please check out this event. Please go to this event. There's going to be a lot of awesome people there.
In New York.
Yeah. Jay went to one of these events, right?
Jay went to the last one.
And he got like third?
Yeah, he made top 4.
Wow.
He said he should have won that game, but that's how that's what we all say.
I wasn't there, so I'll just say he's coping. he'll love to hear that. Speaking of just like art, this is kind of our last thing. Steven, our local artist, did a really awesome altar for Eric. This is Rydia as the Silent from Slay the Spire.
Dude, when I saw this, I don't know what Slay the Spire was, but just seeing like...
Okay, so you don't know what Slay the Spire is?
Dude, I don't know anything.
Oh my god.
But when I saw like the goat head skull looking thing,
yeah,
I was like, just like the sketch of it to begin with, I was like, I have no clue what this is gonna be, but this is a really cool start to something.
Yeah, Slay the Spire is a roguelike deck builder game. You actually have cards, and you have a player character, and you have different encounters that you go through, and you use your cards to like attack or defend. But most of the time, you are able to see the actions of the enemy that are upcoming in that turn, so you can plan accordingly based on those actions.
Okay.
It sounds pretty simplistic, but it has this thing called Ascension. And so when you beat a run, you can go to the next Ascension, and it keeps adding modifiers on each run. They make it harder and harder.
Interesting.
So there's 4 characters, and there's 20 Ascension levels for each character. And kind of the ultimate thing you can do is go to Ascension 20 in each character.
Ooh, that must be a lot harder than...
It's really hard.
The start.
I've done it. It's really good. I'll get you to play it. But the characters are cool. The art's really cool. The music's good. The whole theme and everything is like really solid. It's on Switch. It's on like all major platforms basically. It's really cool.
Okay.
And then the second one's coming out soon. They have like a board game and stuff.
They have a board game?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but anyway, so this is just one of the player characters from that. But yeah, like I think this art is just incredible. And the coloring too. Like I know Steven's not really sure about like his ability to color things and stuff, but like I think the subtle, just like the use, the sparing use of color looks really good.
The red?
Yeah.
Looks so good.
Anyway. Moving on, let's talk about like what happened last weekend.
We had a weekly on Saturday into a 2.5K on Sunday.
Yeah. And I think we both kind of did opposite things at these events.
Yep.
I went to both. You went to both. How'd you do?
So for the weekly...
let's start with the weekly. How did we both do in the weekly?
In Swiss, me and Jay finished top seeds in Swiss. And then in top 4, we played a quick game where they conceded to me. And then we went home for a early morning tomorrow, which is the 2.5K.
Yeah.
So I did pretty well. I
Nice.
think I played somewhat like average or decent.
We got out of there pretty early.
Yeah, no, that was the biggest surprise. It's like I was noting to you, right? Damn, we got home. We finished level 7 before midnight.
And we were home before midnight.
Yeah,
which is even more surprising.
That was crazy.
Yeah, and I felt like the deck I played did really well. I told myself I was playing Thrasia's Kodama all weekend, and really what I was trying to get out of the weekly, which is like, for those of you who don't know, level 7 has literally every week, they have a $10 buy-in, kind of like this is your time to test decks and stuff for like before the big tournaments and stuff. But it's still like a tournament. But like I think the deck did really well. And then I identified a couple cards I needed to swap, but I ended up going 0-3-0. But overall, I felt like I was playing well. I felt like, I punted the first game. This sounds like cope. This sounds like me going, I would have won that game or whatever. No, I literally had a win on the stack, but I didn't realize that I missequenced game 1. And then I did the same thing game 3 in a different sequence. So like a different win line. I totally I didn't see it. And then my opponents didn't see it after. I'm like, everybody's cleaning up their board or whatever. I'm sitting there staring at it and going how did I missequence this? And then I figured it out, and I was like, God damn it!
You're like, wow, if I took an extra 30 seconds.
No, I was already taking long.
Oh, okay.
So I felt like I was kind of pressing myself to play at a reasonable pace. Mm-hmm. And if I sat there forever, I would have figured it out.
Sure.
But that's not a thing you can do in a tournament, right?
No, unfortunately not.
So, unfortunately, I think I played well overall. I think the deck is really interesting, but that night I just didn't have it, and that's fine. I had a good time overall still. Yeah. But you won.
Yeah, I won. Me and Jay got Popeyes in round 3. We after round 2, we're both 2-0, and I'm like, if we get matched up against each other, you want to get Popeyes? So we ID'd round 3, and then we got Popeyes. Dude,
and they walk in while I'm trying to put these wins on the stack, trying to put it. I'm so hungry I could eat something right now, and they walk in with Popeyes, and I'm like, oh, I guess it's for winners only.
I'm like, oh, oops, oops.
But you won with farm, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Good decks, I've been told.
And then what happened on Sunday at the 2.5K?
Dude, I crashed out in Swiss. My first game, I should have called for faster play because I had a Final Fortune in my hand with, I kid you not, 10 pieces of interaction in my hand. So it was resolving. And then on my next turn, my Cavern GA was also resolving. So, but unfortunately, I got to time. We got a draw in round 1. Round 2, I mulled a 3. Unfortunate. Honestly, it was a hard game because I couldn't convince the other TNK player not to just try to tutor a win. They try to put a win on the stack. On my Molda 3, I kept drawing only interaction on my first 3 turns. So when they put their Thassa's Oracle in play, I was like, hold up. Before you do that, let me show you my hand. And I showed them Deflecting Swat, Force. And they're like, you Molda 3, what the fuck? How do you have that much interaction? I was like,
well, did you have blue cards for each of those too?
Yeah. I was like, dog, you gotta calm down here. You can't win the game right now. There's a Narset that's gonna get cast next turn.
Yeah.
So we gotta just AFK right now.
Yeah. I think it's hard, especially if you're a less experienced player, to to take oh, I have A plus B in my hand. That means I win the game.
Mm-hmm. And honestly,
and then they go well, I don't, if I don't play my win now, what am I doing?
Yeah.
And honestly, the answer is you're not losing.
I don't blame them at all for that game because you're seeing Rodgrass, you're seeing Narset, and you're seeing the other TNK player Molda 3.
Yeah.
The other 2 decks aren't very interactive, especially early. And Narset just doesn't interact at all, especially if they only keep rocks, which is what happened there.
Yeah.
And then I just Molda 3. What are the chances I have interaction, right? So, I don't envy them for that, but I think having a fish and just winning that way is easier.
Yeah. I felt like I did pretty well especially after making some swaps. I came home Saturday night and I was like, I need another amulet. I was like, oh yeah, Tiller Engine exists. Dude. And then turns out that card was only printed once in Dominaria United collector boosters and the precon.
The 5-color precon.
And then Emily goes, oh, we have that precon. So I literally went in, pulled it out of the precon, stashed it in the deck. I'm like, okay, this precon's not complete anymore, but I don't care about that.
It pays to be a casual scrub.
Yeah, I guess so. But that's the only card in that precon that's worth any money.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's $20.
In that 5-color precon, really?
Yeah, it's $20. And
wow.
the next closest card is $2 or less. But yeah, I made 4 swaps, put Flesh Duplicate in because I wanted either to copy Tiller Engine or Lotus Cobra or anything like that, and that felt really good. And then game 1, I sat and just, it was a grindy game. We had a Jacob Hawken kind of diagonal for me. I was C1 and Jacob Hawken was diagonal, and my opening hand was a turn 2 Ristic followed by Bobble on turn 3, Vexing Bobble.
Okay.
And I go, there's no way Hawken's gonna flip before 3, right? It's just unlikely. And so I deployed Bobble on 3 and kept mana open to always crack it.
Yep.
Always have mana to crack it.
I think that's always the correct play with Bobble.
And I was like, look, I have the mana to crack it, but I just really want to deter Jacob Hawken from casting anything Jin Gitaxias or Void Winnower or anything gigantic.
Omniscience.
Yeah, exactly. And then that worked out, and we just were able to grind with Thrasios, and then on my winning turn cycle, basically I untapped with I counted I think 16 mana, and 13 of that was from lands.
Wow.
Because of just all the Thrasios activations and stuff.
Big mana Thrasios.
I was able to put a tutor on the stack that would have won the game, and then it was countered because they had to hard cast their counter spell to counter it.
Oh, through Vexing Bobble.
Yeah. And then I put another tutor, a to the battlefield green tutor on the stack. Yep. They countered that one. And then I put just straight up put Tireless Provisioner on the stack, and then they countered that. And I was like, okay. And I'm like almost tapped out, right? I had Seedborn Muse, so I go to untap, and then on the upkeep of the next player, I just cast Subtlety and then put the Cloudstone Curio into play with the Subtlety and win off of that. And like,
what's your combo with that?
So with Cloudstone Curio, I had Cloudstone Curio is not really necessarily a combo, but it's just a way to get certain lands back into my hand from the battlefield. Like a lot of people don't know that Cloudstone Curio works with lands because they're most used to using it with Dockside and creatures and things like that. And it just really says non-artifact.
Yep.
And if your lands aren't artifacts, then you can bounce them. And then I had my Shifting Woodlands just become the Tireless Provisioner in the yard.
Well, that's awesome.
And it just felt really good. Like being able to win at instant speed with a Subtlety, but like no other things that inherently granted
it's also
flash.
just like hard to interact with.
It's really hard to interact with. They're like, why are you casting Subtlety? Like, what's the target? I'm like, there's no target. There's nothing on the stack.
That's so funny.
And then like round 2, we kind of got the game thrown a little bit, at least in my opinion, and I don't know if the other player would see it that way. I do want to be like cautious about how I talk about the game because I think that certain players are like less experienced, and at some point maybe like the player could go back and watch the replay and see how things could have been different. But
I mean, it's a learning experience after all.
Sure. But like, this is not, my comments about this game are not reflective of like the player's character or them as a person or anything. But that player had was in seat 1, countered a turn 2 Ristic from the player who's in seat 4, and the 3 of us that were not him went, hey, this is like a really bad idea for you to counter. Even Eric, who's sitting right next to me, and he's like obviously going to cast some spells. He's way ahead on mana and Kinnan, and he's like, you probably shouldn't do that. And the guy's like, no, this is like my plan to win. And then sure enough, Eric just rips like Chord of Calling for X = 5, like just straight up on his turn. And then
Seedborn.
Yeah, he gets Seedborn. His first flip is a Hullbreaker Horror. And then I think you heard me talking about this, where Eric had no fewer than 3 Hullbreaker Horrors at one point.
Yeah, we rewatched the VOD, and I was like, wow. And somehow this became a draw.
He was not able to draw sufficient cards to go mana positive with the Hullbreakers, which is unfortunate. But we drew that game. We ID'd the next game because there were just like, I don't know. I think there was like little incentive for us to
you want to pull up your third.
That round.
Third round pod. You're in pod 1, right?
Oh yeah. So I was in pod 1. Like, it's Jonah from MTG Basics, Jax who's another local. He's playing Wrong Side, and Kevin, the Vietnamese squirrel himself. He's a Chatterfang and Elsha player. He's playing Elsha, and me, and much like you on Saturday, we just wanted to get food. So like we went and got.
That's completely fair.
We got Greek food. It was pretty good.
What'd you get?
Got a hero and fries.
Hell yeah.
And then round 4, just lost to Justin. Like I was in seat 4.
It looks like you got seat 4 in round 3 and 4.
Yeah. And Nolan and Josh both mulled extremely low. So like it's really hard to defend a Kalia when I'm in a lands deck. Yeah,
you're like a 4th seat land-based synergy deck versus a Mardu turbo deck.
Yeah. I actually ended up having enough answers for Kalia to stave them off for like a turn cycle or 2. My opening hand at 7, you have to like, this hand is so cracked. It was 4 lands.
Okay.
Burgeoning and Study.
Okay.
So I'm like, I don't remember what the other card was. This is not
turn 2 Study.
Yeah, turn 2 Study. Like I saw Burgeoning. I'm like, and then one of the lands was Urza Saga. So I'm like,
hell yeah.
Yeah, it felt really good. And then like I think that kind of play pattern lends well to playing from 4th seat. Just being able to like deploy extra lands and have a stockpile of resources coming around to your turn. Sure. Obviously, like rocks and stuff do the same thing. But like this deck plays all those rocks too. It plays Soul Ring and
Yeah, it's a Simic ramp deck.
yeah, it's a ramp deck. But anyway, the events overall were very fun this weekend.
I do want to say I did like the venue. It was very spacious. Maybe not in the corners, but I felt like the room was very spacious overall.
Yeah, and the nice thing is it's local to us. It's maybe 10 minutes from where we're at right now.
Yep.
So it's just another option to play. And it seems like they're going to be hosting basically locals on like Fridays, like $10, same thing.
Yeah, I might show up to those.
Are they going to do it this week?
Yeah.
Cool. Other than that, last thing I want to say about this tournament was Kefka won.
Yeah. They drew... What Jax told me was that they just drew top pod and like first seed just got all the points. So
yeah,
good job to Bodhi winning on Kefka.
Yep, I worked with Bodhi on the deck a little bit leading up to this, and obviously I did that coaching session with Kefka, and the Kefka Discord guys were like, they were pretty much all over it. And like, I'm not saying that my advice is like 100% or whatever. I think there's many different ways to play that deck.
You point them in the right direction. I think.
Yeah, I tried to. But he did run a list very similar to the one I did in the coaching session. He said it was like 9 cards different or something. So it's not too big.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But
so you actually won this event, right?
Yeah.
That's how that works.
That makes me feel a lot better. So anyway, that was our locals. And here's me playing Kodama Thras. But the deck felt really good. If just for a second we could talk about the deck.
Okay.
Did you have any thoughts on this? Because I know you've been kind of like...
It's so funny. So I played against it a little bit. I haven't actually played it myself.
Okay.
But it like once you get into once you have all your pieces in play, it feels like it's just like a little like Nadu, and where like you put your lands into play, you make a bunch of tokens, and then you keep doing that over and over.
Yeah.
So I think it's cute like that.
It's cute.
Please don't unban Nadu.
Yeah, I mean, it really is just reliant on lands. We're on 33 lands. A lot of mana producing things. Mm-hmm. Very heavy into the Thrasios plan.
Yeah.
And then we're not using Kodama for value really at all. It's just there as the combo piece in the finisher. And
it's your blue-white finisher, but in Simic.
It's weird because the identity of the deck is strange because you're overlapping in your colors.
Sure.
And like I have experience playing Kodama with Sultai, and I know Eric played it in Bant.
Yep.
And like those are very fun. I even played in Gruul with Dargo. Like I think that part's really cool, but this feels like it fixes a lot of those problems because you have a plan when your plan is not Kodama. Like if you don't have a way to just combo off, you have something you need to do, and like a way to interact.
I guess all of us have played all the color wedges of Kodama then, because I used to play Abzan Kodama.
No way.
Timna.
Really?
So long ago.
Oh, because you said you were like a big Timna enjoyer, right?
Yeah, with Timna. Whew, that was
it stacks back then too?
I hate stacks. I don't advocate for stacks. I did play like Draneth and stuff like that, but not like crazy amounts of like Rule of Laws or anything. It was more of a turbo Abzan deck, which feels really weird saying that about a Abzan deck, but it was fast. Green lends itself to the ramp. So
was it the Withered Chain? Was like that the main one?
So it's like Withered Chain and Hulk.
Okay.
Yeah.
But like, what does Hulk grab you?
Hulk grabs you like the pile with the Sam and the
Samwise?
the cat and everything. It used to get a different pile, but I just don't remember anymore.
I like the Alurin plus Asarak.
Asarak, yeah.
Yeah,
I used to run that too. It's so good.
It's so funny. But anyway, I think the deck is pretty fun. It's not really running any particularly weird cards. I think
Ancient Stirrings. It's a Tron card from Modern.
I've never had it like not grab anything. Like it always hits something in this deck.
It's like your Malevolent Rumble.
Yeah, but it puts the card into your hand.
Yeah,
like it's a tutor, kind of.
If you squint hard enough. It's like your stock up.
But it kind of fixes or like helps in that like turn one if you don't have a dork or something.
Sure.
It just you're like, oh, I'm just gonna cast Stirrings, and everyone kind of looks at you sideways like, what's that
What?
card?
Isn't that from Modern?
Yeah. And then like if you look at the sorcery package, it's literally five
tutors.
incredibly powerful to the battlefield tutors.
Yep.
And then instance, chord, Archdruid's Charms felt pretty solid because we just
There's
make a lot of...
3 counter spells in this deck. Good to know.
Yeah, but it interacts better than you might think.
Okay.
Because I can like Summoner's Pact for like Endurance or Subtlety.
Sure.
And interact that way. Summoner's Pact just felt like so good.
Oh, I bet. Just like getting anything.
Kodama trigger in response, Summoner's Pact. Get the creature I need. And yeah, you had recommended, you and Jay, I think both had recommended Pongify or Rapid Hybridization.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can Pongify one of your own things to put a token into play.
Yeah.
And
to put a land into play.
I actually saved us from dying to Kalia because I was able to Rapid Hybridization the Villas that he had put into play. Okay. So like, in response to like after he, I had priority once he put Villas into play, I like Thrasios flipped. The top card was Rapid, and he's like, "What the hell, man?" I'm like, anyway, here
I can literally hear Justin say that.
Yeah. But overall, the deck's really fun. It's like an amulet deck, and I'm playing in the league right now. And speaking of the league, like the league is popping off,
dude. It's like you said we're averaging at least like 21 games a day.
It's up to 24 games a day now.
Wow, that's crazy. Because like we literally right before we started recording, 6 games literally running right now.
Yeah, like concurrent games. 6. That's 24 people plus.
Yeah,
whoever's watching or
just
whatever.
Jamming.
Yeah. So come join our league. There's a couple days left of this month to join, and then we'll finish out this month, and then we'll open up the next month.
Yeah.
Speaking of stuff going on in Critical EDH, this is our comment of the week.
Yeah, by Michael Carrig 627 on last week's Keeping Tabs. He said, "I do think that the meta's complete rejection of combat damage is a little bit crazy. The meta allows so much value buildup, and board wipes are often cut completely." So, what are your thoughts on this?
I see board wipes all the time. At least like in locals here. I see Toxic Deluge, I see Fire Covenant, I see Supreme Verdict.
Cyclonic Rift, baby.
Blasphemous Act, even like on Elsha sometimes.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. I think certain decks, like Kodama Thras, does not have an option to really care about a board wipe.
Yeah.
I could run Psych Rift, but like it's not my job to do that.
Downpour is also like super relevant in this format right now.
Oh, that's a good point. I think Downpour is incredibly powerful. It's really hard to get rid of. It's really annoying to deal with.
Yeah, apparently enchantments are hard to remove, and apparently multiple enchantments are hard to remove too.
Yeah. And then, like, do you think that's true? Like with the...
So the
with main, like board wipes not being a thing?
So I do think the meta is a little greedy on board wipes right now. We don't see them as often as we did like last year, for example. But I think the main problem with it is that when combat...
Would you even go back as far as last year? Or maybe just earlier this year? Because if you think back to like February or March when TNT or Tymna Thrasios was really popular.
Oh yeah, you'd run Toxic Deluge and just like crap on that deck. But what I was saying is, for combat damage to be a viable or relevant strategy within the game would have like accrued enough resources, right? Like as the user was saying, which means when that occurs, when there's like a huge buildup of resources, there's a high probability of just flash effects also being in play, and just like with your death on the stack or whatever, you just cast a Born Upon a Win and win on top, or you just start the ensuing fight for the next 72 minutes of overtime to like just have multiple flash effects in play. And then at that point, the combat win condition is not relevant, right? Because like you guys aren't even thinking about that. You're thinking about like the Tight Spot Tyrant that's stuck in the stack now.
Yeah, I mean, combat damage is worthwhile to... It is worthwhile to swing your creatures when you can.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But
it's just another clock on the game that you want to apply at all times.
And swinging at the right player, the player who plays Necro or Sylvan Library or Adnaz or whatever.
Yeah.
That's totally worth doing, and you should do that. If you're not doing that, then you're not really playing to the peak
maximum
potential.
outs of the game.
Yeah. But that said, like, I don't see any decks that are viable right now that have combat focused win conditions.
Yeah. Outside of like strictly going infinite into combat win con.
Sure, which would be like Malcolm Vile.
Or like Kiki Jiki or like infinite mana into Finale, but those are like alternative like combat win conditions than what I would think of naturally, like just swinging in like an empowered
big powers,
6/6,
yeah, or like a Crater Hoof or something.
Yeah, maybe Mails from Wander is the exception to this.
I was going to bring it up. So we've seen, at least locally, like you've played with me enough on that deck. You've seen that I've seen you walk over and like someone's playing it, and you're just like, "What is going on?" What do you think about like the amount of damage that deck presents, and like how do you think that kind of?
I think it's a very aggressively fast deck, and that's why it can do like the combat thing. But
it's one of probably the only deck that can.
Yeah, it just gives you another access of winning the game through combat, because also you just like randomly flip like your infinite combos off of the deck, and it doesn't matter that you can kill your opponents anyways.
I mean, I've killed a number of opponents with a flipped Atali in that deck. I've won games just by flipping Atali and spending mana and going sideways with it, and they don't have sufficient blockers.
Yeah,
and I'm like, okay, you're dead. And then it comes around and like, oh well, we don't have anything for this. And then like, okay, well you're next.
That actually comes back to like the idea, right? That like we're playing a lot of like interaction, but it's not like removal interaction either. Because like we literally saw Austin die to a precon, or we heard that Austin died to a precon. Like,
I mean, there's more to it than
ago.
that. Like he failed his breach line, right? Or not his breach, his Nas line.
Sure. But like after that, right? He looks at the Timna Malcolm player and asks if they have any control pieces, and they're just like, yeah, I have 5 counter spells, and none of them hit the 6/6 creature that's on the stack.
Yeah.
So
there's something there. I think that like just talking about Maelstrom Wanderer a little bit, like the creature play patterns where you're able to combo with creatures and get those pieces onto the board. Yes, it does represent like a lot of damage because they all have haste, but that's not what we're trying to do still. Like even though that's a deck that does combat extremely well, it's not trying to do that.
Yeah. That's
not its main win con. I think decks like Winota in the past would often rely on combat damage to win.
Yes.
And also just, flips and triggers and things that are not non-deterministic where you're able to get sufficient pieces onto the board and lock up the game and then just start swinging, right? Mm-hmm. I don't see a way through right now with that kind of strategy.
Yeah, it's just a little hard with, like, if we are getting to the relevant point where combat damage is relevant, we'll have accrued, like, enough resources to either, like, take care of it or...
Do you think that the format would be in a bad spot if those strategies start to come around?
I mean, like, I wouldn't necessarily say bad, right? Because that's like a subjective
but from your opinion
thing. But in my opinion, if the format's main win condition is combat damage, we would have needed to ban or remove a lot of the current power from the format, which doesn't seem very fun because I play this format to do stupid stuff.
Yeah. And just to relate this to a conversation that's been going on Twitter, people arguing for the ban of Timna. And I'm like, Timna doesn't really represent anything problematic to me, personally. I think it's a powerful card.
Yeah.
But I'm not here to play low power shit. I want to play high power stuff. I want to play the most powerful stuff.
I miss Dockside every day.
I do too. But I think I'm okay with where we're at right now.
No, I think people like to complain about anything, right? But I think the format's been the most diverse it's actually ever been, because not every deck is held up by the crutch of Dockside. So it's not like we're all just playing like Dockside combo decks or anything like that, right?
Well, I don't see how like Thrasios Kodama could even compete in a Dockside meta. Like I just have to be cloning Dockside,
Yeah.
and that's like, is that really where you want to be in blue green? Not really.
No.
Because then you have to wait for a Dockside to come out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And then
anyway,
you just get out compete by Kinnan.
and that's a good point. Like
Dockside.
there's always that, like, if you have something to complain about, sure, but like you ban that, then what's the next thing you complain about?
Yeah.
Then you're banning the next most powerful thing.
It's like,
and then
it's
you're
like
powering down the format like
it's
over
like
and over
it's
again.
like back last year, right? Everyone is complaining about Nadu. Everyone's complaining about Dockside. Some people were complaining about Mana Crypt and Jeweled Lotus. Whatever.
I really don't think people were. Do you really think people were complaining about Jeweled Lotus?
We complain about anything and whatever, right? But just from my perspective, people were complaining about anything.
Yeah.
But I think we see it there, right? Like we remove those pieces and then just another thing comes back where it's like, oh, this is now the new problem in the format or whatever, right? Like eventually if we just keep banning stuff that we think is quote unquote problematic, we'll just
We'll be casual.
Yeah. Well,
do you think that there's some sentiment going around that like our format's not real because there's no ban list and like Wizards doesn't pay attention to us and stuff like that? Do you think that there's any truth to that? Because I kind of think that cEDH is special in that it doesn't really need that attention.
I don't think so either. Like it's a eternal format that almost like self-regulates, and then the other thing is that the variance is much higher in this format compared to like Legacy or Modern
or just any 1v1 format.
Yeah,
you're not, the variance is there for sure, and I can't even imagine how many different possibilities of just decks.
Like I don't think I've ever played a game of cEDH where it is like literally the exact same game, like down to everything.
Yeah.
As like a previous game I've ever played. Like,
and that's what keeps us coming back.
Yeah, I like just piecing together like a new story almost.
Yeah, it's definitely a storyline from start to finish. All right, let's talk about VV. What's everyone's thoughts on VV a month later?
I think VV a month later is exposing like just like brewing it as a turbo deck, right? I think a control shell will lend itself to a better game plan over time as like VV continues to like have tournament success.
Eric's been experimenting with the control VV and
he's
also polymorph.
A little cook stuff, but
I think he's experimenting in the right direction. I don't know specifically about the cards and stuff, but I think that when I imagine what VVs should be doing in my head, sort of like Shauna's Malcolm Kedis, where you just play responsible control, and I think that's really interesting.
I think so too, especially since the commander just has like a clock built into it. Obviously, we're in a 40 life format and it only does a damage, but like people said that about Talion, right? Like, oh, it only does 2 damage or whatever. But this is on your spellcast. It's an outlet. It's in Izzet, which is like the best control colors in my opinion. Yeah,
it has the opportunity to run a lot of removal and good counter spells and mana efficient things and like lots of free spells. You could probably run pyrokinesis and stuff like that.
God, yes.
I think VV's cool, but I just don't see it being like oppressive because it eats a removal spell usually. Like the problem is that you can see.
I don't think it eats a removal spell until you put the Curiosity on the stack.
Sure, but everyone just kind of knows what's happening, right?
Yeah, and that's why you like just play your alternative draw engines, right? And then like play the control plan then, and then eventually when like people are like low on resources or whatever, right? You like that's your finisher, not your starter, right? Is what the main argument I'm trying to make is that like your Curiosity shouldn't be like the starting plan for your game plan. It should be like the finisher after you're done like accruing value and resources.
Yeah, I think I'm really interested to see what VV will look like in another month or so, because we see this pattern all the time with new commanders or even just like new archetypes where the brewers will brew to the most like optimistic brew of the deck. They'll say, wow, Hashatan can do all these cool things. Hashatan can win it split second. And then like the entire deck is built around that.
It also helps that like it's like it just got released, right? Not everyone is like super up to date on what it does or anything. So they can be like blindsided by like said conditions that make it extremely well. But
I think when it comes down to it, it's going to go back to more of a like fundamentals focused build where you play more responsibly. You try to interact well, and then you go for your win con like a little bit later. Just jamming your win con without protection doesn't really get you there, especially in blue red. Like it's you're missing white. You're missing,
especially since the win cons in Is It are more like storm based win cons too.
Right. So how do you win if your opponents have already deployed Rustic Study, Mystic Aurora, all of those things? Yeah. I think VV is really cool. What about in the 99? Anything to say there?
I've seen like inklings of it here and there, mostly in like
the Blue Farm, right?
Actually, I've seen it in Blue Farm. I know Tremnik has been testing it in Blue Farm. Okay. My opinions are reserved for that. I've also seen it in Rogsai. It's really cool as like a huge battery outlet or whatever, right?
But you've been really testing Stormkiln, or at least been aware of people testing Stormkiln. I think that might be a bit more reliable than VV.
Yeah, the main problem is that it's 3 mana versus 4 mana, right? And that is a huge jump, right? Because like if we think about like the context of the game, like 3 mana commanders are just simply way easier to cast than 4 mana commanders almost every single time.
There are upsides to Stormkiln though. It's only one color, and you can cast it off of like Mana Vault. Yeah. The other thing is it creates semi-permanent mana that you can use anytime. You don't have to use it only on your turn. Yeah. And then other things, it does enable some very weird lines where you can just like chain vapor your own stuff and copy and then generate treasures with that. You can also brain freeze just pseudo randomly, or not like not when you
like with
just
like,
to generate
just for
mana
value,
and then it's very hard to interact, or like nearly impossible to interact with that. I think you and I had an interaction with the Stormkiln one game when I was playing Krark, where I just brain freeze to make a bunch of treasures, and I had a Facebreaker.
I remember that too.
And you're like, oh man, like I'm so like I should have just removed the Stormkiln, because like the trigger's already on the stack once you do that. Yeah. So it's nearly impossible to interact with. So I think Stormkiln's kind of an interesting thing that we'll probably see come up more. I know we've talked about it before, but if VV's in the 99, might consider Stormkiln instead.
Yeah. I mean, or just play all of them.
Yeah. Mana's pretty good.
Yeah.
Lots of mana's good.
So I've been told.
We talked about this. What were we talking about here?
I guess this is just the last weekend to get your top deck points. We talked about the Bufftown Bullies. I'm going to the Springs this weekend for like the last chance, like literally last day to get points on the 20th.
Yeah. I might go. The invite. Probably not, but we'll see.
Yeah. I'll definitely be at the Envy. I've already booked my tickets. I'm going to figure out my hotel arrangements later.
Nice. Well, we are closing out the season, the 2025 season. Overall, I think it's been an incredible experience just being able to play and compete in the season. I don't think that cEDH would really exist the way we see it right now without Top Deck and the structure.
I think the cEDH growth with Top Deck has been immense, right? Especially in like specifically last year and the year before. Like we saw events like sell out like 30 minutes after they were posted for like the Diamond events.
Right.
Like that was crazy.
Yeah. I think without the leaderboard and stuff like that, I don't think that players would really have something to reach for as far as like
goals to set and everything like that.
Because I would have to walk around telling people like, I won this event.
I won Snowy Summit too.
And they're like, okay, where's the evidence of that? I was like, I don't know. Here's a picture, I guess. But like now you can just look at my profile and you can like see all the events I crash out at and you know, stuff like that. I think it's cool. And you can track your own like sort of journey as a player, track your win rate and your stats and stuff like that. It's awesome. So we're hoping that they do another season next year. Seems like they might. At least the survey responses were really good. Just continuing the series, but this year we're closing out. There's only about 5 days left or 4 days left by the time this comes out.
Yeah. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah. So 5 days. Get your points in and try to make the invitational, I guess. If not, then you've got the Steel City Open.
Dude, it's still a 20K.
I know. The pricing's nuts. All right. That's a good card. Had another guest on. They had Hire from Playing with Power to talk about a card called Lurking Predators.
Yes. I used to run this in my
Timna
casual Kinnan list.
Okay.
And yeah, it was fun because I'd just flip over like random one drops,
random heinous
drops
things
and stuff like that.
Yeah,
that's back when I thought acidic slime was gas.
That's funny. What do you? I mean, this card feels like it's hard to cast.
Yeah, being 6 mana, it's really hard to cast. I can see Hire's like why Hire is high on it, but that's mainly a symptom of playing Kinnan, the big mana deck in the format.
Right.
But I can see how this can kind of deter people from like storming off into it, much like how like a Ristic Study or a Fish would deter.
We should probably read the card.
People from storming into it. Sure. So basically, Lurking Predators is a 4-colorless green enchantment. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a creature card, put it onto the battlefield. Otherwise, you may put that card on bottom of your library. So it's not like Counterbalance where it can get stuck on top. You can keep cycling through your deck. My main issue with it is that like unlike Mystic Remora and Ristic Study where the card advantage is just straight up put into your hand so you can draw like interaction, it puts the creatures into play. And there's very few creatures, I would say, that would be scary to look at or like flip into that would stop a Storm player from just like winning, right?
Yeah. The other thing is it's not a May. You must reveal the top card of your library, right?
Yeah.
So if you're running this in the Thassa's Oracle deck, you might have a very poorly timed Thassa's Oracle ETB trigger.
Imagine flipping over a ballista.
There's definitely some weirdness there. This card, while I do appreciate its high or medium to high ceiling, I do think it screams a little bit more casual than it does cEDH, at least in the strategies that are powerful right now.
Yep. I do think in specifically Hire's Kinnan list where he runs a higher density of like the
Thorn
like
Mammoth and stuff.
Creatures, yeah,
it makes sense in that like type of list for sure. It's really interesting. This is a card like this is the type of card I really really like. Dude, I love this card.
I wish it was like gas, but
I could put it in Maelstrom Wander.
Just being 6 mana feels really hard.
Put it in Maelstrom Wander.
This is secretly the podcast for Maelstrom Wander.
We're Maelstrom Wanderer truthers on this podcast. Yeah, so I would recommend checking out the That's a Good Card episode. We're working with them this month on our league. I know it hasn't been quite as many people signing up from That's a Good Card side, but we do like working with these content creators to try to support them as much as they've supported us in the past, and we like working with them. I think it's a good...
Kyle and Ya, super chill.
Yeah, they're great guys. Really great guys. We highly recommend you go watch their stuff, because most importantly, even if you're not interested in the card, I think the whatever card they're talking about at the time, the discussion around it and the way that they frame it and the way they talk about it.
The analysis is extremely important to think about, or like not necessarily even important. It's interesting to think about, right? Like, because like everyone has different like influences and spheres of influence in cEDH, so it's interesting for me, like just sitting in the mid-range hell of Denver, to think about like what everyone else thinks about around the globe, right?
But also just not only the cards that they're thinking about, but how they think about them.
Yeah.
Because looking at cards, and we have new sets coming out all the time. We have Edge of Eternities coming out. Being able to analyze these cards and say, like, is this good for the archetype I want to play? Is this good for how I play as a player? Or are these powerful commanders? All of those things we have to be able to analyze. That's part of the job of being a cEDH player.
Yeah, we're always looking for like new and busted stuff to play, right? Like
no one's playing stuff because it's not powerful. We all want to play powerful cards.
Yeah, like for example, earlier this year, there was no NBC Kinnan. The deck didn't exist, and then the first time Evan put it together, and I quote from Jonah's mouth, Jonah was like, "This deck looks like dog shit," and now it's like one of the best decks in the format. Like it's insane archetype.
I lost to a That's a Good card on Sunday.
Really?
In a casual game. So I was playing with Hazen, and he tutored for a delivery Moogle. And he went mana positive with the Displacer Kitten, delivery Moogle. I think it was Mox Diamond and Lotus Petal.
Okay.
Because you can get them back from Yard.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's
so awesome.
And I was just like, oh my god, this is like, I understand the whole combo is like 10 mana plus 2 artifacts or whatever, but it's still one, right? So that was cool, to see especially the influence of like people are looking at these little bit more obscure cards and still finding ways to break them.
Mm-hmm. Kind of like Reverent Silence earlier this year.
Yeah. I wish I like had a reason to play that card right now. Anyway, speaking of cards that are a little bit underplayed or underrepresented, we thought we would talk a little bit about alternative draw engines
or
value engines.
Underplayed or undervalued value engines is what we're talking about. And yeah. I guess I just picked a couple that I thought were good, and you gave me a couple thoughts too. I think
the first one we both said was Archivist.
Archivist is like such an awesome creature, right? Like when it first came out, I was like, that's gonna be the best thing that comes out of Commander Legends Baldur's Gate. And then I saw the Displacer Kitten spoiler the next day, and I was like, just kidding, that's the second best card coming out of this set.
Yeah.
But I think it's been a stable engine for a long time. I think that with the printing of Bowmasters, it did get a little like shadowed over, just because like it does die to Bowmaster, right?
And you can like force kill it to Bowmasters.
Yeah, but if the main problem with it is that it dies to Bowmasters, that's an okay downside.
Lots of things die to Bowmasters.
A lot of things die to Bowmaster, but the nice thing about this card is that it has flash on it. That's like the funniest thing is when someone cracks a fetch and you're like, hold up, I'm gonna hold priority, and they think it's an Oppo, but it's really
please
an Archivist.
Pause. Wait.
And then everyone has a sigh of relief,
especially when it's like you have Ogma. Untapped, you have Scrubland Soul Ring or something.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh god. I like Archivist a lot. Every time I've gotten to the card, I've never tutored for it necessarily, but every time I've gotten it, it's felt really good because it's like
a nice incidental value piece.
It's so easy to assemble 2 mana on turn 1.
Yeah.
Or even turn 2, and
like even just like land Chromox, land Diamond, right?
People are not going to not fetch into this.
Yeah.
They're going to fetch, and they're like, okay, you can draw your card or whatever.
Yep.
And then it has felt extremely powerful in Satya because I just create extra copies of this motherfucker, keep them around, and then I have like 3 archivists, and every time someone fetches, I have to draw 3 cards.
Ancestral Recall.
It seems really good.
And Weather the Storm.
Weather the Storm?
Gain 3 lives with Storm on it.
Oh my goodness. Hey, that's not bad. But yeah, I mean, I think the only thing to watch out for with this card is it is a forced draw, like Esper Sentinel.
Yeah, so like you can die on your Thoracle, but I don't think that's as relevant.
Do you think there are white decks that don't play this card right now? You play it. You don't play it in farm, right?
No,
but farm is really tight. Farm's really tight on.
If I went back to like a mid range, farm list, like
how about this? Are there 3 color or less decks, like 2 color, that don't play this card?
No, I don't think so. I think you played an Esper, right? That's like
Jeskai.
a great wedge for just like sitting there and like tutoring up your draw.
I think of like Esper, Jeskai, and Bant, and like every deck that I think of there probably plays it, and maybe Derevi doesn't, but even then...
Derevi needs that card draw, so it won't play it.
Yeah, and it needs a body to just swing with, right?
Yeah. Like the nice thing is that it's a 2/2 with flash on it that incidentally draws cards. And it's not a restrictive casting cost either.
No. All right. Well, unfortunately, you can't cast it off of...
The upside is it does get doubled by Delny.
Ooh. That's kind of nice. Delny's such a powerful card, but...
It's a synergistically powerful card, but in a vacuum on its own, it's not very strong.
What about this thing? This thing gets doubled by Delny. This is Runic Armasaur. It's 1 green for a creature dinosaur. It's a 2/5. It says whenever an opponent activates an ability of a creature or land that isn't a mana ability, you may draw a card.
My first thoughts about it is that if you're in a Thrasios meta, this whenever they activate Thrasios, you're drawing that card.
They have to remove it before they go infinite with Thrasios too, right?
Not necessarily. You can respond to the triggers and then just like born on top of all of it. Similar to how like if you have a Bowmaster in play, they just activate on top of your Bowmaster triggers, but then
okay, let's say a Thrasios deck like Rog Thras isn't going infinite, but they're going kind of pseudo infinite and they have to activate in between.
Yeah.
That makes this card really good.
Yeah. Or even just like in the early to mid game, right? Like 3 mana isn't impossible turn 1, and turn 2 this is definitely achievable. Obviously this is like on the same axis of Rhystic Study being 3 mana, but just having like we're just talking about more incidental value pieces in your deck, right? And just
there's strategies where you would run this card such as Gruul, but you like can't run Rhystic Study, right?
Yeah.
At least you could potentially run this card.
You can run this in like maybe Kinnan too, right? Because you can flip this into Kinnan. You don't feel awful about a 2/5 body for 3 mana. Like it's pretty cracked.
It's a good Tymna blocker.
Yeah, and it triggers off of like a lot of game actions because right now we're in like the value meta, right? And a lot of your game actions are like randomly activating your creatures, surveilling, doing this or that.
Yeah.
And this is along the same lines of like Verity Circle being above average.
Do you think that I think part of the problem with this card is the skill ceiling of recognizing the triggers.
Oh, yeah, it's a little hard to be like, is that a mana ability? Is that an activated ability?
Yeah.
Does this thing trigger? Does it not?
Well, like, this activates on Boseiju, right? If they're channeling Boseiju, doesn't it activate?
Skyfall should have rules on underneath, right? Oh, doesn't.
Oh, doesn't.
Oof.
Oh, I was so close.
But like, for example, like Kenrith activating stuff just draws you cards. Thrasios activations draw you cards.
I think that
tapping the One Ring draws you cards too.
Oh, interesting.
Wait,
no, it's just creature or land.
Oh, just kidding.
See?
God.
We're already proving that the skill ceilings... No, I'm serious. I think it's worth pointing out because like Rhystic Study, so everyone's so used to just like, oh, you're casting a spell. can I draw a card?
Mm-hmm.
This is, you have to pay attention to what your opponents are doing and think to yourself, is that an activated ability of a creature or land that's not a mana ability?
Yeah,
And
like for example, like Arbor Elf, like untapping a land is not a mana ability.
Right. But even though it produces mana, kind of, you know, it's not. So anyway, I like Runic Armosaur. I think it's an interesting card, especially in color shells that are not including blue.
It's a cool card.
It's kind of high variance too.
Mm-hmm.
Grazilax. I haven't seen this card in forever. Speaking of Baldur's Gate.
I used to play this in Malcolm Kedis as like Timna.
Really?
Yeah. Because like you'd swing your dockside, and they can either choose to let you draw a card and make a mana, or bounce your dockside back to hand and then make like 10 mana.
So Grazilax is a 1 and 2 blue creature horror. I remember this from the Captain.
The horror precon.
Yeah, that one. I used to play that a lot when I played casual. But I remember this card from that. This is a 3/2. Whenever a creature you control becomes blocked, you may return it to its owner's hand. Oh, I can see it with Dockside. Yeah, that's crazy. And then whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, draw a card.
Yep. So it's similar to like, it's like almost Timna text.
Yeah. Are there other strategies now outside of Dockside that are potentially making this more valuable?
Yeah, like if you don't have access to Timna, like, and you just need more incidental card draw, like this isn't a bad card to consider, especially if like you're in a creature-based strategy as well. Okay. Just because you just had them to swing out.
Interesting. I haven't seen this guy around in a while.
Yep.
Oh, here's our Stormkiln we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, I think as time goes by, I'm recognizing the ceiling of this card, but I still haven't evaluated where the floor is yet on this card.
I think the floor of this card is very hard to evaluate.
Yeah.
Because
Magecraft is such a powerful ability, right? Because it says cast or copy. That's like the biggest thing.
I think the next one people are going to realize that exists is Archmage Emeritus. That draws cards, dude. Like making mana
it manually draws cards.
Making mana is really strong, but drawing cards is way stronger. Archmage Emeritus is 2 and 2 blue for essentially the same effect, but you draw a card for Magecraft.
Okay. Ooh, Fluster, draw 8.
Yeah. That's pretty good, right?
If you have both of them in play, that's like Thanos Gauntlet. you only need 2 Infinity Stones.
You're just trying to snap.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like these creatures a lot. I'm pretty I'm pretty used to playing Krark a ton. Not even in Krark Sakashima, but I like playing 3-color Krark, and these creatures see a lot of play there.
Krark Cedar.
But I found so many problems with like Archmage where I have to find a way to get rid of the thing because.
Oh yeah, because it's not a May.
It's not a May, and you can deck yourself.
Yeah, and it draws before the spell resolves. So like, if your spells get stuck on the stack, you could potentially kill yourself.
Yes, but I think that card's really powerful too.
Yeah.
So, Stormkiln, we've definitely been seeing it a lot. I know that Jace, one of the players from White Club in Austin, Texas area, right?
Yeah.
He's also playing in our league, but he's a big fan of this card. He's been pushing this card quite a bit.
Oh my god!
Jay's playing it as well.
They're all Stormkiln artists pilled right now.
I believe in it.
I think so too. Like the ceiling is great, but just like I said earlier, it's hard to evaluate the floor on it. And
well, hey, you already run Facebreaker, right, in Farm?
Yeah, but that's an outlet for Tithe.
It's an outlet for this. This is Tithe casting cost. It's second Tithe.
Yeah.
It's like second breakfast.
Yeah, I've thought about it. It's hard because it's like a 4-drop that dies to actual removal too.
What really feels good about this though is that it's purely castable off of Jessica's Will.
Sure.
And that's felt really good in Rogsai, just being able to just like rip a J-Will and have those bigger red spells that you're like, oh, I don't care, here's a Stormkiln anyway, pass the turn.
It's like basically free.
yeah. So I think we're probably gonna expect to see this card around quite a bit more.
Yep.
Sylvan Library.
I know I picked this one. Like, everyone knows it's a staple of the format, but I think it's
a staple of the format that no one's really playing right now.
Yeah, and I think that's just like a symptom of like everyone's extremely like ristic pilled, right? But just like getting this out on turn 1 and just like consistently drawing an extra 2 cards every turn does feel good, even though you're losing like 8 life or whatever. Like, that tempo gain is like excellent.
I lost to a Glarb in our league. New Glarb player, like, good for him. He played really tight, really well, but he played turn 1 Sylvan Library, and I was like, I remember this play pattern when I used to play Glarb, and like I haven't played it in a while, but I was like, oh, this is really hard to deal with, like, because he was thinking, he's like, do you guys normally just like look at the cards, or do you like take 8? I was like, no, brother, you take 8 until you're down to like 20, and then you start looking. You just start taking the cards.
Yep.
Drawing 3 extra cards per turn is insane.
And it's not like anyone's gonna remove Sylvan Library either. Like,
yeah,
huh?
Yeah, like, what do you do? Like, no one's going to swan song it. Like, I don't think that's gonna happen. I think many players are overlooking this card incorrectly. It's definitely worth playing in a lot of strategies. Decks like Kinnan maybe are like you could probably argue that you don't need to, because Kinnan has like a mana plan and somewhere to put that mana. Where other cards or other decks like Glarb probably like make really good use of the card. Like
yeah, and like any strategy that can like manipulate your top or like shuffle many times. I know fetch lands exist in this format, but like if for some reason your deck like shuffles more than average, your Sylvan Library is gonna be higher value more than average.
For sure. Any other thoughts on this card?
No, it's just a brainstorm every turn basically, and you can just keep it if you want to.
I'm not playing it in Thrasios Kodama right now, but I think I might have to put it in. It's just like another way to get there.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Next up, the Winning In podcast with Max P.
Shout out to Max P. We'll be partnering with him for the next league in August.
Yep.
And then he also had a guest, Evan Freedom Waffle Pierce, on this. And the main title is, Are You Sabotaging Yourself by Not Playing Blue Farm? What are your thoughts?
I think they had a really good conversation, and I respect both of these players a lot. They're, for those of you that don't know, they're both extremely high-ranked players. So
both are top 10 players,
yeah,
like straight up.
And there's a top 10 player right here too.
Oh well, that doesn't matter. I'm washed.
I think that there is. I mean, these players like Jason and Max P and Freedom Waffle, you guys have it figured out. There's no question that, like, you know what you're doing when you're playing cEDH. You know why you're playing certain decks and why people are what people should be playing or shouldn't be playing. And I think the general opinion is that you don't need to play Blue Farm in order to be successful.
No, like, even like the rank 1 player Max doesn't even play farm. Like, he literally advocates
different Max.
Yeah, Max Sternberg.
Yeah. He plays
advocates not to play farm.
Kinnan,
right?
and Rogfrast.
Boring. I know Freedom Waffle doesn't need farm either. He's been playing Kinnan.
Mm-hmm. Max P plays Timna Thrasios.
Yeah, Timna Thras. Florian too. Like, I've been playing Kinnan recently too for fun. Like,
yeah,
you don't
and Rogsai.
You don't need Blue Farm to win. Rogsai is gas.
Yeah. So I think the conversation that happened, and I was definitely, I don't know that I was an instigator, but I didn't necessarily push the conversation in a productive manner. But I was a little like the main comment I made was, your Blue Farm is not in the way of you winning games.
Yeah.
Better players are in the way of your success. So, like, when you're in a pod, if you're a nobody player, and no offense to anyone, but like if you're just a new player, right, and you're in a pod with Jason, Max P, and Evan, I think you would find it extremely difficult to play and win in that game.
Yeah, even
if you're playing farm.
Deck, yeah.
And none of you guys are playing farm. Even if you're playing farm, the deck contributes to your success or your potential success as a player, but it does not determine it. And there's so many other factors in like player skill, player experience, just.
I think the main question we're thinking about here is, are you losing percentage points off of your tournament success by not playing blue farm? And there's a little truth to that, right? Like obviously it's like just a soup pile that does excellent things.
The deck is converting extremely well. It's converting at about 10% higher than the next deck, which is what? Kinnan?
Maybe we ask Data Talk for this.
We'll figure that out. But it's converting to top 16 or top cut at a rate about 10% higher than the next highest deck. So that's one of the metrics that was used to spark this conversation, saying that like, well, blue farm's just far and away the best deck. And
but
like,
I think
maybe that's
at
true.
The highest level, and this is just intuition or like feelings based on my own personal experience, I think the pilot matters way more than the deck. And I think while blue farm may be marginally better than like every deck in the format or most decks in the format, it is not to a point where like you sit down at a table, you give a new player blue farm and they auto win the game, right?
Yeah, and we have to look at these metrics differently than 60 card or 1v1 formats, because you'll see a lot of it just works differently, because like when you sit down at a table with blue farm, there might be another blue farm sitting across from you. There might be
zero, and only one of you guys can win the game.
Right. So there's just so many other variants and factors that account for like these win rates and things like that. I do agree that like player skill is just number one. I felt like I've leveled up so much as a player, and largely I have not played blue farm at any tournament, and I've just gotten better and better and better.
Yeah.
And I play blue farm. I keep it in my backpack at like almost all times. I have a copy, that I lend out to people and stuff like that. I think it's a great deck. It's fantastic. But sometimes it just doesn't like. If it's not your style, then like there's no impetus to play it. You must play it. Otherwise, you're.
Yeah.
And that's even coming from you, as like you're pretty much one of the top blue farm players around.
Yeah, I'll just play like any deck.
You've seen success on some of the worst decks that I've seen. I've seen you play games and you absolutely cook people on it.
Maelstrom one? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I mean, hey, like you just go to our YouTube channel, you'll see videos of Jason cooking us on any random deck. It could be Glarb, Maelstrom Wanderer, Wrong Side. Like, it doesn't matter.
I don't think I've won a game on the channel with farm. Like actually
that's true. I don't think you have.
Yeah. Which is so funny.
Yeah, the deck you're most known for, you haven't won with.
Yeah, that deck sucks.
Anyway, if most of the top players are following the same sentiment of like, yes, we understand it's technically the best deck, but there's just so many other factors, I think that there's something worth listening to there. The data only presents one side of the story, and if we were a totally data-driven format, then I think things would look a lot different than they do now. Mm-hmm. Another good example is we just saw Tim Nadargo win a really large event at LAN Go, and then the same pilot, Kellen, also won another 120-player tournament with Tim Nadargo.
Yep.
Right? So, like, explain to me that.
It's not like all decks just like fold a blue farm. Like what the heck? This guy isn't even playing Ristic Study in his deck and he's cooking people.
Yeah. There's just so many more things to it than that, and I think that's a little bit the opinion that like farm runs the format. It's this is gonna sound bad, but I think it's a little bit uneducated. Because the more that I play in the format, the more I'm like, I don't care.
There's so many.
I just don't care about
There's so
farm.
many viable strategies.
Yeah. So, anyway, check out this conversation with Max P and Evan. It's a really good one. I highly recommend you watch it.
Yeah. I'm always impressed by like how different they think.
Everyone
than me.
like even just like than you. Like I'm like, oh, that Jason would totally have a different opinion on this, right?
Sure.
But yeah. Oh, we already went over this one, didn't we?
Oh wow.
Oh boy, I didn't read this one.
I didn't either. Well, I kind of did.
We're about to, right?
Number one.
Wait, hold on. 3 hot takes of cEDH.
Number one, you can't complain about Ristics dominating the format before you play enough counters, removal, hate to try to actually contribute to solving the problem instead of whining. Number two, due to the highly interactive nature of this format, successful decks should at least have blue or white to provide or avoid interaction. All white decks should play silence effects, and all blue decks should play counter spells. Non-blue white decks should play non-white blue decks should play Tidal Barracudas. So non-white but blue playing decks.
So they're saying in lieu of running Grand Abolisher or Ranger Captain or whatever, you should be running Tidal Barracuda.
Okay, and then number three, according to win-loss draw data we have seen, more than half of the games will end as seat 1 draw winning or as a draw. Hence, if you are not on seat 1 and you didn't get a God Hand, playing for a draw should be your priority, since it's more likely to happen than you winning the game, and a draw is worth more than a loss. I think that last one is more of a...
Let's go in order.
Sure.
All right, so the first one is you shouldn't be complaining about Ristics dominating the format unless you're building your deck appropriately to handle them. My take on that is that as I've gotten more experience as a player, I'm totally 100% comfortable playing with my opponents having Ristic Study in play.
Me too.
Do you ever counter a Ristic Study?
I don't think...
When was the last time you've countered a Ristic Study?
I don't think I've countered a draw engine period in like a while.
I'm sure you've red blasted one.
Sure.
When you're going for it, right?
Yeah. That's more of an interaction check versus like me killing it on turn 2.
But I just find that the games in which I've removed Ristic Study or countered Ristic Study, I've always almost found it to bite me in the ass immediately. Because I'm like, oh, well, I could have used that counter spell on something that actually mattered.
Yeah, because now at that point you're in a low resource, extremely variable game where, one, you've put yourself down on interaction, and two, you put your opponent out of resources, which means the other two players have not actually done anything besides watch you guys hit each other.
Yeah, in one of the games on Sunday, I watched 2 players, Eric and the other guy, fight over Hullbreaker Horrors. And they were constantly trading them back and forth, bouncing them or taking them with Gilded Drake or, all these things. And I'm like, I'm just sitting there going, okay. And then the other farm players going like, I don't need to do anything here. Like, we're either going to win or lose, right? Because like we're behind. But just watching people fight over pieces, and in that case, like those are win pieces. But if you're fighting over a Ristic Study, like that's not really accomplishing what you need. Yeah, I mean, the Ristic meta is dying off a little bit. I've seen like a little bit of a simmering down where like I'm not seeing every game have 3 Ristic Studies. I'm not seeing as much as I was like maybe a month ago.
Or even like 2 months ago, right? Or like, yeah.
Like even earlier, like probably the worst it was like February to like April.
Yeah.
Because at like Snowy Summit, you were in that game with Evan, where everyone had Ristic Study, Tithe, whatever. Like he had.
Sorry, Olivier, you didn't have those in play.
But I'm not seeing that as much in games right now. Like,
no, like people are just deciding when the proper windows are to jam and everything like that, and that just feels good, right? Because if you know your opponents are mulling for like a turn 2 Ristic, right, then you have that ample opportunity to just shove through.
So would you say that the part that you disagree about, or I think I would extend the part that I disagree about, is I don't think Ristic's really dominating the format right now.
So I think Ristic is obviously a problem in our format, but I think
Is it a problem or is it just like a factor?
it's a big factor is what I will say.
Yeah.
Within games, but that doesn't mean it's like the extreme factor that loses you the game.
Right. Okay. And then moving quickly on to the next one, due to the interactive nature or let's say high variance of the format, successful decks should have these specified colors, blue or white or both. Do you think that's true?
I think there's some truth behind it as someone who's played like the format for like a couple years now. I think it's like 3 or 4 years I've been playing cEDH. Almost every deck I've played is blue and white or like a mixture of like or blue or white.
Right.
And I do agree with this person that these effects are extremely powerful and they are extremely good at doing what they're doing, right? Blue is extremely diverse at interacting, or not even diverse, just like excellent at interacting on the stack. White is good at using their silence effects to just like block out interaction and win the game. But that doesn't mean we should use these as like heuristics or like even like rules on like why you shouldn't play X, Y, or Z, right? Like Rockside doesn't play white, but it plays blue, and it's like a semi-high interactive deck, but it still sees like high amounts of success.
I think there's always exceptions to the rule, but I think generally kind of framing it this way, especially as in the context of newer players, you can show them that like, yes, blue is really good at interacting. White is good at creating windows. White is or green is good at like ramp. Red is good at these powerful spells like Underworld Breach and things like that. Black is good for your tutors and other powerful cards. But when you look at decks like Corvold, you can see why that they might be struggling a little bit right now because they're lacking that blue or lacking that white.
Yeah, they're lacking the protection right now in a high resource meta.
Yeah. So I think there's some truth to this. All blue decks should play Tidal Barracuda. I don't know about that. Like,
I don't know about that. Like, that's a little sus.
Tidal Barracuda is a cool card. I like it, but I don't know about all decks. There's not always room. And then I don't know about the win-loss data. Like, I don't know where you're getting that data. I think you should always play to win the best you can.
I 100% agree. Like, if you're going to like a tournament, right, and your goal here is to, if you're not in first seat, to draw the game, how are you going to get out of Swiss ever, right?
Draws don't get you out of Swiss.
And then like, if you do make it to top cut by some miracle and you're in fourth seat, third seat, even second seat, right, like you can't play for a draw in those scenarios.
No. So what are you supposed to do then once you're in top cut?
I guess we have to do what's called trying to win the game.
Yeah. I think it's professional sports players don't go to games or races or whatever to draw or be middle of the pack. Yeah. Everyone wants to be the best.
And like sometimes
it doesn't work out.
This may be true and sometimes it's not, right? Like sometimes you have to play to your outs, and if you molded 3 in fourth seat, you just have to force a draw sometimes. But even then, like usually when I mold a 3 in fourth seat, I just try to find a turn 2 win, and if that happens, it happens. I either get a draw or we just like go next.
Yeah, I think a lot of it's mentality and mindset and framing like what you want to accomplish as a player, especially in a tournament. A lot of tournaments I go, okay, well, I just need to win a game. And then once I win a game, I go, well, if I win 2 games, I might be locked for top cut. So like I need to win another game.
Yeah.
And that's all I focus on. And then if I get to the point in the game where I'm unable to win, or I see the window closing and I'm like, okay, well, maybe I need to draw this game, or maybe I need to try to draw this game. That's just from my experiences playing and playing in a number of tournaments. I think we played in like 30 tournaments this year, maybe.
It's a lot.
Yeah, we played in a lot, but like you can't sit down at a table and go like, my seat order is bad, therefore
I have to play for.
That's not going to get you where it needed to go.
No.
And kind of along the same thing, and like tying up what we've talked about in this episode, I found this post by DefCat of Playing with Power. I think disturbing is too much of a word to use for it, but particularly troubling.
Yeah.
It's titled, I love cEDH, but I'm falling out of love with cEDH. Ultimately, I think DevCat's a really smart guy, and he has a lot of interesting content. I highly recommend checking out his YouTube channel, and also check out Playing with Power. They're really good guys, and they contribute a lot to cEDH. But I'm a little like unsure about this because I see cEDH and tEDH as largely being the same thing. They had a conversation earlier about how the distinction between the two is important, but I don't really talk to you or to the guys about playing tEDH.
No,
we just talk about playing cEDH.
Like, we don't call it tEDH. Just like how, like if you're playing Legacy as a format, you don't call it like T Legacy.
Yeah, or C Modern. Yeah, like it's not that distinction is not. We are all there playing to win. So like if you're forcing that distinction, then you're like pushing us a little bit into the casual realm. I know that we had talked about this. I think it was maybe 2 weeks ago now, but we had talked about like we have Wednesday nights where we play cEDH, but we're a little bit more lax. A little bit less like intense about it. But then when we play these $10 tournaments or these weeklies, like, yeah, it's a tournament, right? But I think that's natural. But we don't refer to those nights as, well, this is a cEDH night and this is a tEDH night.
Yeah. You just like inherently know like the almost like fundamental switch on like, oh, we're just like slaying cards with the boys. We all know we're still trying to win, right? But
yeah.
And then like whenever we're on like our weekly nights, right? Like obviously we're trying to win store credit. Like there's a prize there. It's not like an insane 5K prize that you need to win, but
sure,
the level that you need to like perform is still there, right?
Yeah. I mean, my drive to win can vary depending on the circumstances, right? If there's no stakes, I'm going, Oh, dude, the things I do at the shop. Yeah, sometimes you're limit testing, sometimes you're like testing a new build or whatever. Like that's totally fine. And we have people over all the time just to play cEDH and like have a good time. But we have a good time by playing cEDH. It's not because of like whether it's a tournament or not, like casual. The one example I was going to bring up, do you watch like racing at all, like Formula One, or do you know anything about it?
No.
Okay. So in Formula One, and I'm going to simplify some of this, so if you're a big fan, just forgive me, just stick with me. In Formula One, what they do is they travel weekend to weekend at all these different race locations around the world. So, for example, if they go to Spa in, I think it's Belgium, they would show up. All the drivers would show up like on a Thursday. They have practice on Friday. They have qualifying on Saturday. And they have race day on Sunday. At all these different sections of events, or like they're all at the track, right? So they're all competing in a way. But in practice, it's open practice. They can get their car sorted. They can do what they need to do. They can see if things are performing right. They can change the setup for the track. They can look at the weather and then go, well, I don't know what the weather's supposed to be like this weekend. Maybe we need to run like softer suspension or run different tires. And they can kind of like plan and use that time to plan. And then qualifying is where you go, okay, well, now I need to compete, but really I'm competing against the clock. So they try to set the fastest lap, and they have this qualifying session in which determines race start order. Okay. So you can actually modify your car to be in what they call like a qualifying mode, or like they run like more power to the car. They have like this was especially prevalent back in like the 80s and 90s. They would have like these absolutely insane engine builds just for qualifying, because they would just try to like the engines would like blow up if they like ran like an entire race.
Oh,
Okay, but anyway, besides that,
this sounds like trying to get out of Swiss.
yeah, exactly. So like, but then like, you see what I'm saying? Like the framing is different, right? And then you go to race day, and then like, you've already qualified. You might be sixth, you might be first, you might be last. Who knows? Yeah. But you might have a different goal based on how you qualify and all that stuff.
Sure.
So like, I try to think about these things as I'm playing in these different cEDH environments, and also like throughout a tournament, as to like, okay, what are my goals? Like my goals are constantly shifting or whatever. When I'm playing Wednesday night, like, yeah, I want to win, but is my goal to like play to every single out that I have, or like, you know, aggressively politic and make the game last until till an hour after the store closes, and like, you know, like, no, I'm not gonna do those things, and like, I don't even really do those in tournaments. But you get my point. Like, you have to be framing your experience based on like the conditions, I guess. I'm a little worried about like posts like these, because I see them so highly upvoted.
I think
on
that's
Reddit.
Like the main thing, right? It's like, if you see a tournament with excellent experience, like the turnout was great, nothing went wrong, you're not going to hear about that. But you're going to hear about like, oh, the airplane fell out of the sky, right? Like, you're going to hear more about that than like, oh, the 10,000 other airplanes that made it safe.
Right. Yeah, that's a really good point. And I think Reddit's a really good place to complain, and you'll have a lot of dogpilers that will go, oh yeah, the format sucks. Like, and then like, you can even just read these comments and like, oh, of course, here we are talking about draws being worth 0 again. Like, these players don't have experience in tournaments. They don't know how these systems work or why they're in place in the first place. And then people saying, well, cEDH is fun when you're just playing for fun with your friends, but it's not fun in tournaments because, you know, people argue with you or they lie to you.
I think I've had the most fun in tournaments, honestly, even with the downsides of like lying, whatever, long stack battles with intricate details and deals like that. Just like getting to meet new people and like chilling with friends that come out with you. Like, I've had the most fun in tournaments just because of that.
cEDH really has become a toxic haven of bad behaviors. I've seen a lot of justification for the bargaining / bickering / harassment.
There's also rules in place for this. Like, like, you just need to invoke like 4.1, right? Just stop talking on my turn. I'm casting
Call
spells.
a judge over.
Yeah, like, you can call judges for like excessive politicking and stuff like that as well.
Or put your AirPods in. I don't know. I think that posts like these are worth reading and listening to, or like hearing. But like, I'm not like banking this as, you know, I see so many people having a good time, and people are reaching out to me or us, or, you know, I'm reaching out to other content creators and going like, are you having the same sentiment as this? They're like, no.
And at the end of the day, right? Like, if you go to a tournament and you have the expectation of winning, there are many other people with the expectation of winning, and at the end of the day, there's only one winner. Like, someone will have to be disappointed in their own performance in that regard.
Or they are not disappointed in their performance. They think that they played perfectly, and then they're willing to blame other factors for their quote bad experience as to why they didn't win. So I would just be careful about those things. And if you're not if you're new to cEDH, or you're new to the tournament scene or whatever, I will once again plug our league. I think it's a really good way to compete and have a good experience where there's a little bit on the line, but it's not as high pressure as a tournament. You're not locked in for between 4 to 8 hours a day, you know, in a single day.
I've been told it's like an awesome middle ground between like just like your casual like kitchen table cEDH whatever, and tournament EDH, right? Like, everyone's there to like jam games, have a good time, right? Like, you can played 500 games this league if you want to.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's possible, but
yeah. But the other thing is, like, if this were true and this large sentiment of people were having bad times at tournaments were true, why are these tournaments still selling out? It's not just grinders going to these tournaments. I see new players. Excuse me. I see new players all the time show up to these tournaments, and they're like, "Wow, I didn't really have any idea what I was going to expect." But like, these people are so nice. Yeah. Like, I had so much fun, even though like I totally crashed out. Like, I didn't do well at all, and they're like, "I still had a great time."
Like, for example, like 2 weeks ago, right? One of our locals named Jordan, like he's a Kefka player.
Oh, he's in our league too, right?
He's in our league now. Just showed up to a weekly. Said it was his first tournament. Like, didn't do too well, but I gave him a bunch of advice. Next week he top fours. He's in our league. He's having fun in those games and learning. Like,
yeah, and when I played against him one time, he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm super new," and I'm like, "Could have fooled me." Like, I thought you're like at least somewhat experienced, but I think you largely get into these things what you put. You largely get out of these things what you put into them. So if you come into the mind, with the mindset of like, "Oh well, I'm just going to be aggressively politicked or whatever," and if someone tries to do that to you, you can respond in a way that is healthy, and you go like, "Bro, I'm not like
chill out,
I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
Like, it's not for me or whatever."
Yeah.
You don't have to sit there and just like take it and shut up and like, be quiet. So I don't know. I would love to hear what you guys think about all this, but I would say if you like the game, just play it. I think that's about all we have. I was looking through my stuff here. This is really funny, but we have 6 games going right now as we record this, and just we love interacting with all these people and dealing with judge calls and just spending time with the community that we're building and especially as I'm gonna go a little bit more online versus offline as we have a kid, and just like knowing that there's all these people that like want to connect and
it's also awesome, right? Like it's almost like a platform to connect with other people. Like, I know I've just jammed games with people that have no access to like a cEDH environment because their local scene isn't as developed as us.
Yeah, or there's no local scene at all. Yeah, you're remote or you're in a weird time zone, or you're in Hawaii or Alaska, or like
I've played games with Europeans on here. I've played games with Canadians. Like,
oh, Canadians. I'm just kidding. But anyway, I think that kind of about wraps it up for us. Do we have any like other housekeeping stuff or anything coming up?
I mean, like June 20th is the last day for
Top
championship points for the Envy.
Yeah.
I'll be in the Springs this weekend. I think Austin's coming with me. Just to hang out with the Springs boys and be in their tournament.
That's a good crew down there too.
Yeah, they're awesome.
And then obviously Steel City's coming up. So that's the big 20K, the Steel City Spectacular. Yeah, there's a Legacy. There's like all kinds
no
of stuff.
ban list and a bunch of other stuff. I'm like, ooh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that is really cool. That's like something I can't really wrap my head around. No ban list cEDH. And then you get to play with all those weird cards too. Yeah, like Booster Tutor. But anyway, I think that'll wrap it up for us for this week. Thanks for joining us, Jason. Appreciate it. Always good to see you. And we'll see you guys next time.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.